Again.
So, Clinton, a record-breaking window. What have you made of its entirety?
This has been one of the best windows ever, if not the best window. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been amazing working with special people, with my special Soccer Saturday people, and you, and Emma. It's been brilliant. But now, all jokes aside, the transfers have been unbelievable. This is going to be the best window ever.
I think one of the most talked about things of this window is player power. Right, we've seen it with Wissa, we've seen it with Isak. Chris, is this a view of what's still to come?
It's a worry though, you know, because you've obviously signed a contract and, you know, clubs will think that they've got players tied up, but the reality is if you're going to go more or less say you're not going to play and behave the way that some of them have this transfer window, it would be worrying for football, because the reality is, you look at Isak and he's a prime example. Newcastle fans are obviously, they're unhappy with him, but they're signing someone who's done exactly what Isak's done to them. So it is a worry now. I would say it would be a worry going forward for football, that players can more or less just do what they want. Yeah. So I think there might be something that has to be put in there, because at the end of the day, if they're paying your wages, you've got to turn up for your work. Yeah. You've got to do it properly. And as I said earlier on, I always feel as if when you leave a football club, you should be able to go back through the front doors of the stadium or the training ground in years to come, and neither of those two will be able to do that in the future. Yeah,
and from a club perspective, Sue, do you think, Liverpool, they've kind of played this game almost, they've looked at it throughout the whole window, they've gone out there, they signed Ekitike to begin with, everyone thought that was because Isak didn't want to come to them. They've kept on that case. Yeah. Has their strategy paid off? Because also, you look at the Mark Gay case, they've kind of gone a similar route, and will that happen?
Yeah, I think when you look at Liverpool, you look that they obviously lost a lot of goals, they lost a lot of quality with the players that went out. They've brought in some real quality, some real sort of strength and depth. And when you look in those attacking areas, I looked at them last season, they had sort of 5 or 6 players to fit into that sort of front three, if you like. And Salah was nailed on, and then the other two, it was a case of rotating. You now add Isak to that line, up that front line, and you just think, wow.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. And, obviously they want to go deep into competition, so they want to be able to rotate. And, yeah, I think the only other one, obviously, was the centre-half. I think with Kwanzaa going out, you felt that they needed to just maybe bring in another one, and Mark Gay obviously would have added that real quality. So if that still does go over the line, Clinton's saying absolutely not, then you would just say, what a perfect window for them.
Yeah, you're adamant still not happening. I've got to do it. I've got to ask straight down the line, who's had the best window?
Ooh.
As it is right now, okay? So as it is right now, obviously, it's still deals that are getting done.
Without Gay and Isak.
I was going to say, right? Well, look, Isak's done. Isak's done. Without Gay. So go on, Michael. I'll start with you.
I have to say Liverpool. Yeah. I think Ekitike, Isak's going to happen. Kirkus coming in. Vert's coming in. Frimpong had to replace Trent, but you got Shabazlai, who played there over the last couple of games, who's been magnificent. So I think you have to say Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, they've spent an awful lot of money. So you expect quality when you bring it in, but you bring in top players in.
Okay, Sue, what about yourself?
I think Arsenal have had a very good window. I also think Newcastle, when you look, yes, they've lost Isak, but I think who they've brought in. But I'd probably still have to go Liverpool.
Okay, Chris?
I'm saying Arsenal. There was positions last year that they were weak in and they had to strengthen. They've done that, and they'll fancy their chances this year. You would want them to win.
Why not? Yeah.
To win.
Avoiding what they brought in to win the league.
Well, I think they've been close the last couple of seasons. Stating the obvious, everybody said if they had a striker a few seasons over those 2 or 3 seasons that they've been runners-up, that they would have been league champions. So you look at it, and I think that signing of Gyökeres, if they can create the chances that the opportunities that he needs, he can finish. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's not as if because you hear a lot of people will say that the Premier League and the goals are still the same size. Yeah. If he's in a team that's going to create opportunities, they don't move the goals, and if you create those chances for him, he'll take them. It might take him a little bit of time to get settled, but he will score goals.
I'd say Liverpool and Arsenal, but I'd probably just sway towards Liverpool. Arsenal have had a good window. It makes it even better, the signing of Eze. Eze is the truth. He is I like that word. He's the real deal. And Boydie's right, he will score goals because Eze will create for him. He's got players like Saka, Odegaard, if he could get back to his best, how he was a few seasons ago, and Eze, they'll create chances. So that's why I say Arsenal are definitely in that title mix. But if Liverpool get Isak and Mark Gay, that's the best window.
You just said Gay is not going.
Yeah, if you never know. I'm hoping he
Well,
does.
that was my second question was going to be, I'll let you do it. Who's to be concerned? Who as a club right now are going,
I think,
should we have done more?
Fulham.
They've not done enough.
But Fulham look like they've brought in some players. I mean, today they brought in, some decent players.
Yeah,
but
I think for Fulham as well, they had a good enough squad last year. They've not really lost it,
Yeah.
either. But looking at it, I would be worried if Brentford.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've brought players in, but the goals have lost. It's very difficult to replace them. You're then looking at Wolves as well. I kind of fear for them.
I think it was vital for them to hold on to Strand Larsen.
Yeah. But when you look at Leeds, have obviously spent a fortune. Well, the three teams coming up have spent a fortune. But I think Sunderland, good result at the weekend again.
Yeah.
Home form is going to be key for them. So you look at the teams that they've given themselves an opportunity. But I do think, the two teams that we've mentioned there, they're a lot weaker. That will give, the promoted teams an opportunity to stay in the league this year. Whereas in years going by, you never thought that was going to be the case. So, it will be tight down there.
And Palace will be all right.
I was just about to say, what about Palace?
You're worried,
Eze.
you're worried about Eze and losing Mark Gay. Mark Gay, we don't know what's going to happen, but they'll be all right because they've got a top manager and they've lost players before.
Yeah.
Everyone said Palace would struggle when we lost Elise.
Are we now?
Yeah, because I am weak.
Spurs fan.
I'm a legend at that club.